Right, welcome back to Sports Extra with me, Ahmed Nawaz. Now, in the second half of tonight's show, we're going to be discussing something very particular. Like I said, in these testing times of COVID-19, where isolation and, of course, all that is happening, you can't step outdoors, but it's important to keep yourself entertained at the same time as well. And you can find certain activities that are there, but how much of those activities can you utilize? Once, you get a hang of it, then you tend to find something else. We've got something very special that has come out. It's a brilliant board game that has been making headlines all around the country, and of course for all the good reasons, because it is entertaining and at the same time it's fun as well. Let's watch this report by our team of Sports Extra to just know about what it is and then come back.
Crickster is the first board game designed and developed in Pakistan. It is the first cricket board game too. Board games connect us in ways no other game connects us, and that too in the comfort of our homes. Crickster is designed keeping in mind every audience and their passion for cricket. It is the ultimate boredom buster and will keep you entertained every second of every time you play it. The rewind cards are the twists that will help you navigate the board at the same time telling you about great historical moments from the world of cricket. Considering current situation where everything is locked down and masses have limited avenues of entertainment, this is something good and unique. Crickster is a product of Blame Game Production. Adnan Shekhani and Irshad Ahmed co-founded the company and this game also. Wasim Akram is the brand ambassador of Crickster. Due to the current pandemic, this board game is gaining popularity day by day in Pakistan, since this is the perfect activity for cricket lovers in this quarantine.
There you have it. Now, if you haven't got your hands on this board game, then it's about time you did, because I certainly am going to get my hands on it and start playing with the family, because that is something you need at these times. Of course, bonding at the same time, having fun and keeping yourself entertained. Now to talk more on this wonderful game and of course its inception as well, we've been joined on Sports Extra tonight by the co-founder and the CEO of this game, Mr. Adnan Shekhani. Assalamu alaikum Adnan, welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum assalam, how are you?
I'm very well. Adnan, just tell us about the inception first of all of this game. Of course, like I said, at these times we needed something entertaining, but how did this idea come up all of a sudden?
Alright, so this idea did not come up all of a sudden. So Irshad, my co-founder, he had thought of this idea about 4 years ago. So we also run an advertising agency, and as you know, during this whole COVID situation, a lot of businesses were suffering, and one of the major industry that suffered was the advertising industry. So I believe this was the time when we went to the drawing board and we said, okay, what can we do and to get the business rolling and to keep ourselves busy, right? So Crickster came about. We had worked on it last year extensively, and we were about to launch it during PSL, but for some reason we didn't launch it at that time. And then during COVID, amongst all the challenges that we had during the lockdown, with things shut down, with offices not operating at full capacity, we worked from home and we collaborated with our teams remotely, and we designed and then we brought it out on the 1st of July.
Absolutely brilliant story in the limelight as well, and of course on the backdrop. Over the years, growing up, we've seen some great board games coming up. We saw Scrabble, Monopoly, Ludo, of course, very, very popular. We've seen them coming up, and that has been all that we've seen in terms of board games, in particular the famous ones. So coming up with an idea that is going to stay for generations and be popular as we've had other sports must have been something that you were aiming for.
Yes, definitely, because cricket not only beats the heart of Pakistanis, it beats for about 1 billion people around the world. And as you know, all the countries cricket playing nations are really ferocious when it comes to playing cricket and following cricket. And during these times when we haven't seen much cricket happening except the cricket that just started a few days ago with West Indies and England playing, and our national team going to England to play, there is something to look forward to, and Crickster, I believe, is perfectly timed for that time, that the kids are at home, the families are at home, cricketing starting up, and the most important factor, the screen time. So screen time has really damaged our children, right? The harmful rays that you get from the mobile phones and the tablets that you play with, this is a physical board game that you can play inside the comfort of your house. So, the whole family gets connected. It's not only fun to play, it's also educational, because as your earlier promo said that there are remind cards, so that's the pretty unique feature, right? So we have a die, and it has 6 dice like any other dice in any board game. But our dice does not have 5, unless because there's no score of 5 in cricket. You have a 1, you have 2, you have 3, you hit a 4, you hit a 6, but there is no 5 unless you are Ben Stokes and you manage to hit 5 in the final of the World Cup. There isn't 5. So instead of 5, we have a rewind button, and that rewind, if you roll a rewind, you pull out a card from the stack of cards, which is the rewind card, and that card actually tells you what to do next, right? And it will tell you about a cricketing moment. For example, if Shahid Afridi hit a couple of sixes, then it would tell you, all right, you need to move 6 spaces forward, just like you would do in the traditional Monopoly game. So this is about cricket in board game form, away from the screen, and that's the perfect mix.
Well, we just showed our viewers, we're showing it right now on screen as well, the rewind feature that Adnan is mentioning. You just saw it on screen as well. Makes the game all bit more interesting. Suspense element stays there as well. And of course, like Adnan's mentioning, that this is a real boredom buster. And of course, eliminating screen time is very important at this day and age, because our younger generation is, I think, too much involved with screen time that really needs to be regulated as well. Adnan, on the other side of it as well, how wonderful is it having Wasim Akram being the brand ambassador of Crickster?
Well, I like to call myself Wasim Akram's #1 fan, and I call him Wasim Bhai. And when we approached him, he was really psyched up. He was very excited, and during lockdown, he made himself available for the shoot. And he was there. We took all the SOPs that were required, and we did the shoot with him. It turned out amazing. It's on our packaging, it's on our communication, it's on all our communication elements. So having Wasim Akram, because Wasim Akram does not limit himself to any specific country. He is truly international legend, right? For the last 20 years, 25 years, for the next 50, 100 years, he will still be there, because the kind of record that he holds, the kind of following he has, the kind of expertise he has, and the kind of inventions he has done for the game. I think Wasim Akram was the perfect fit for this game, who would justify what we are trying to create over here for the world, and it's not only for Pakistan. But the great thing from our team and from our hearts is that it's Pakistan, truly designed and developed. It's our very own game, and it's on cricket. And this is something which, in these times, we can do our little bit to export and get for our country.
We truly hope that as well. That is, of course, all of our prime objective is to, propagate Pakistan on the world stage, and of course, the prosperity of Pakistan at this issue as well. Now, for all the people out there who are watching you through the platform of Sports Extra, just to highlight it once again, how they can get their hands on this board game, and of course, what do you plan to do in the near future of the game as well?
All right. And you order the game from there. Our logistics partner will deliver within 3 working days, and it's not priced very high. We've kept the price really, really low so that huge population can afford it. And the other way is also to go to any of our e-commerce partners such as Daraz, Telemart, Home Shopping, iShopping, Jevo.com. You can buy it from there. It's also available through WhatsApp. So all you have to do is just drop in your details, and our team is going to send it over to your house, and you can pay there and then. And for the second question, what are our future plans? So our future plans are really interesting. There are newer versions also going to come, which are work in progress. We are working on more historic facts to bring to the people to be educated. We are also doing something which hasn't been done in the world in terms of board game. It's called the O2O platform, right? It's offline to online. So what's going to happen is that when the next release of a board game comes to the market, they will be linked to technology as well, right? So when we say that we are limiting screen time, we are limiting it in a way that it does not affect the children. So a general gameplay will be 20 minutes, and you would get a rewind card for not more than 2 minutes in total time. So when you pull a rewind card, all you have to do is just scan it, and you can actually watch a video and Wasim Akram talking about how that event happened and what was the significance of that event in that point in time in history. So that makes it more engaging. So we have a mix of both the platforms, online to offline. Then the whole board game is also, if you go to our website, you will see that we have this whole background music. So you can have a crowd cheering for you while you play the game. So, we've mixed both the platforms in a way, like the more balances towards the board game.
Interesting indeed, Adnan. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. Wish you and your team the best of luck. And truly, Crickster is something that is going to be making the headlines in the near future as well.
For your time and having me over. I just want to make one small message if I have time.
Yes, of course.
Right. So you must be aware that this game, the whole inspiration was because we all went through a very tough time in COVID globally. It made us realize as a team and on an individual level as well that when we do anything for business, it should have a positive impact on the people around us. So we work. This game is also produced of the lockdown, and it's also produced to solve some of the problems that this lockdown has brought to the people. And one of the most important factors is education. So every board game is actually, so that you purchase, is donating a book to the Citizens Foundation, Donate a Book Fund. So every time you're buying a board game, you're actually helping an underprivileged child get access to a book through the Citizens Foundation. And that's a strategic alliance with them for the times to come.
Wonderful indeed. You're doing a great service to the people out there and the country in general. Adnan, like I said, thank you so much. A lot of prayers and power to you and your team. Right, that's all we have time for this edition of Sports Extra. You heard Adnan as well. You can get your hands on Crickster through these various platforms and have it delivered to you, following all the SOPs, of course, of COVID-19, and then have some fun with you and your family at home playing this board game as well and getting away from screen time, which is very important. We're going to leave it at that from me and the entire team until the next edition of Sports Extra. It's goodbye for now.